Greetings, colleagues. In this video, I would like to give you an overview of one of our most interesting products called PultDumper for the most skilled remote making professionals. PultDumper consists of this module, which connects to a USB port on your PC, and a very user-friendly program. PultDumper allows you to store received codes of remotes as text. It also lets you assign an address or a name to the received codes, which is very useful. It is very easy to program copy remotes using codes which were previously saved in the database. Simply activate the Learn Code mode on the copy remote and then program it using a sample code which was previously received from another remote. Because the codes are stored as text, they can be easily ported between computers. You can also transfer the code separately. A received code can be stored in the database to be used later, for example, to program a new remote without access to the original remote. It is also possible to store codes from unlabeled, that is unknown remotes, and then use them to program copy remotes, which will be their clones. Basically, it is a very convenient storage for codes. A code sample is saved in the database as text, and the database can be shared with your colleagues if needed. Or you can save the code of an unlabeled remote control and then send it to us for analysis. If you are connected to the internet, you can analyze the code yourself by checking the online database. It means that the PultDumper module can be used to analyze signals of different frequencies. The online database is updated regularly. Another cool feature is code synthesis. Using that, you will be able to generate and reproduce a code based on the data provided by the signal analyzer. In here we can see signal information, and we can transfer that information to the PultDumper software. We can later use this information to activate copy remotes. Why is this feature useful? We had a client once who was trying to copy his Kami remote. It didn't work, so he tried replacing the battery. After that, the original remote stopped working. But before battery replacement, he used the original remote with the signal analyzer. He then sent us the analyzer code, which we used to generate the working original code. Now you can use all that on your own using the PultDumper equipment. Sometimes you will have to deal with worn, old remotes with poor transmission. PultDumper can be used in this situation to transfer the code from the old remote to a new one. In fact, our equipment can come in handy in various situations, and it will be useful for both small-time remote control makers and experienced professionals. It is very easy to use. Let's finally connect it to a PC, and I will demonstrate to you how it works. First, connect the module to a PC, then open the program. Now select the port to which you connected the module. Next to the port selection list, you will see the notification that the module has been detected. Below you will see the Read Dump button, and next to it a drop-down menu with a list of frequencies. Let's select, for example, the most used frequency of 433.92 MHz. Click on the Read Dump button. Now place your remote against the PultDumper module and press and hold down the activation button. The signal code has been uploaded to the program, and you can see it in this section of the window as a text. We can now save the dump in the database. Let's also assign some name to the dump file. Let's baptize it Remote1. Now click on the Add to Database button, and on the right you will see a new entry with the name of our file and information about the dump. If you are connected to the internet, you can click on this Check Against the Online Database button. The program shows that our code is rolling. It has also identified the security system. The program can detect what brand the remote belongs to. You can now copy the name of the system and then add it to the name of the dump. Clicking on the Add to Database button now will make another entry, but with a corrected name. You can delete the previous entry by clicking on the Delete Entry button or by pressing Delete on your keyboard. This way you can add any number of entries to the database and create your own easy-to-access storage for received codes. You can also add entries to the database automatically by checking this box. This way, whenever you read the signal dump, the entry will be created automatically. The PultDumper will use the timestamp as a name for automatically generated entries. This is also very useful. At any time, you can identify the dump by checking it against the online database. Copy the name of the identified system and use it as a name for the entry. Add this new entry to the database and delete its duplicate from the list. The program has another feature. It can read dumps continuously. Check this box. Then click on the Read Dump button. Choose a remote and place it against the module while holding down the activation button. The program will read the dump and transfer it directly to the database. Now take another remote, but this time there is no need to click on the Read Dump button again. The dumper will be continuously reading remote dumps and adding them automatically to the database. We have added new codes from 3 different remotes to the database. Let's deselect these features for now. You will see that the new entries which were added automatically to the database are marked with a timestamp. At any moment, you can identify the systems of these signal dumps. Click on the Check Against the Online Database button. The program will display the name of the system. Basically, it's up to you how you want to name the entries. You can assign the system name to them or type anything you want. For example, your client's address, anything. Add the new entries to the database and delete their previously added duplicates. Let's rename all of the new entries. Now let's delete the duplicates. And this is how you create the code database. Now, if you need to make copies of these signals, you don't really need these original remotes anymore. You can easily reproduce the dump of the signal, and the PultDumper module will act as the original remote transmitting the signal code. To make a copy, you will need a copy remote, and the copy remote must be compatible with the system code that you wish to copy. For example, let's select LMS dump in the program. We will need 2-in-1 remote for LMS. Initiate programming mode on the remote. Place it against the PultDumper module. Now we'll need to click on this button, Reproduce Dump. Before that, we will need to make sure to select the right frequency. Then we may choose how many times the dump will be transmitted. Let's select 10 times, for example. It's very convenient. This way we won't have to rotate the remote trying to find the right angle during copying if the transmitted signal is not received by the remote in the first try. Click on the Reproduce Dump button and watch the remote. The long continuous flash means the copying was successful. The remote is now ready to be used. It is a copy of the original remote which was previously added to the database. Or let's select another signal dump, CAMI24 for example. For that we will need a compatible remote control Let's take JL433. Initiate programming mode on the remote and copy the commie code by clicking on the Reproduce Dump button. After a short while, the remote will flash to indicate a successful creation of a copy. Now the remote functions as a copy of the original commie 24-bit. Let's verify the code by using this signal analyzer. Let's try playing with some other signals. If we reproduce nice fluoresce signal dump using our PultDumper module, we shall see the corresponding code on the signal analyzer. Let's click on the Reproduce Dump button. The signal analyzer is displaying nice fluoresce signal. Now let's do the same but with the door hand signal dump. You can see that the signal analyzer is now displaying door hand code. Let's try choosing commie dump. The program also has an auto-detect feature. When you want to read dump from a remote, the program will identify the system name automatically. Just hold the remote against the PultDumper and let the program do the rest. The program also allows you to synthesize the code online. This function is available via the internet. Click on the Synthesize Code Online button. You will see a pop-up window where you can indicate information from the signal analyzer. This allows you to generate the code by using the data displayed on the signal analyzer. Let me show you how to do it. Let's, for example, synthesize the door hand code. On the display, you can see the code 2012 8D28. In the pop-up window, you will see a list of available code formats. KL is short for keylock. In the window, type KL in capitals or lowercase, doesn't matter. Then the code from the display. 2012 8D28. Then, without spaces, type in the bottom line C7 A7 EB91. Click on Synthesize Code. The program will generate the code, and you can see it as a signal dump. This is the signal dump for door hand. If you check the code online, you will see that the system is door hand, and you will see the information which we typed in the pop-up window earlier. This will come in handy if the original remote gets lost, broken, or badly damaged. If you kept the information from the signal analyzer, you can generate the code by typing that information in the PultDumper program. All you will need to do after that is click on Synthesize Code and then reproduce code to copy it to a new remote.